The internal migration in China is the largest in the world that is happening peacefully. It started in the 1980s when restricted policies about migration relaxed. Overall, I think migration should be encouraged as the benefits outweighs the negatives. When debating on promoting the migration in China, we need to look at the ethics of the situation. China's government should be concerned about how the environment is affected by the migration. China's migration from rural to urban areas can alter the environment with the increase in urbanization. Some scientists believe that the increase in population can cause decreases in natural resources. There are a number of ways in which urbanization can help the environment, surprisingly. Population in constant sizes like cities are better than dispersed settlements as they are more injurious to wildlife. The economy with people in cities will hopefully go up, in return have more money to dedicate in helping protect ecosystem, energy consumption, and environment management. This could potentially be a way to help society succeed to sustainability. Of course, when considering the ethics of a situation, we need to look towards the children. Research has found that left behind children can benefit economically, as many parents opt to put their child in private schools instead of public when they migrate to the city. Migrants or left behind children can face many diverse challenges like psychological and physical damage, as well as trouble accessing adequate education. This can be due to denial of access to public services, including healthcare and public education in urban areas. There can be, however, a solution to this problem. The Hukou system was put in place to tie people to where they are living. It's dependent on whether they live in farming or non-farming regions because the government public services change based on location. The Hukou system should change in response to the 1980s migration policy reform to stay updated. I say this because migrants in cities are currently being mistreated because the Hukou system does not cover them anymore. They are left without health and unemployment insurance, pensions, free education for their children, and subsidized housing because they left their rural village to find work in the city. Some of China's cities are allowing migrants to apply for temporary permits, but the unequal access between urban residents and migrants remains stark. People have gone as far as to say China's preservation of the Hukou registration violates the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 2007. There has been efforts to change it, however, in recent years. The Chinese government had tried to allow migrants to change the Hukou status more easily, but had limited impact on rural migrants. It had been largely ineffective. This is because it only really helped the upper crust of migrants that was able to fit the educational and financial requirements of the reforms. There hasn't been more reforms to improve this policy because the government found it was too expensive to continue accommodating the rural migrants' needs. I find this largely unfair to the migrants because they're just promoting the Chinese economic success and independence from other countries' resources. I think the best way to promote internal migration in China and encourage their economy further is to improve the Hukou system. People migrating from rural areas to urban has fueled a more sustainable long-term economic growth and reduced the country's reliance on big industry and exports. This has explained China's economic rise in the last 3 decades. The population in cities has been aging, and it was successfully counteracted by the limitless supply of workers coming from rural areas for work. Saving rates has increased with migration overall and had a high return of capital due to the young population migrating to urban areas. In recent years, however, internal migrants have decreased and are deciding it will be more beneficial to stay where they are. This could be because of the prices rising in housing, the less job opportunities in the cities, or lack of rights and discrimination they face when moving. The purpose for this reform was to transfer resources for low productivity sectors to high productivity sectors and therefore increase efficiency. I think China needs to reconsider the temporary financial strain and look at the long-term benefits of reforming the Hukou system. They'll be improving the lives of their citizens and improving the economy if successful.